Happy holidays, my name is Darth Jeswick, and this is A Holiday Husband. And today we'll be playing with the Burke family as Kaylee and her mother, Marie, prepare for Winterfest. Kaylee loves the holiday so much that she actually wants to get married by Winterfest. In fact, she had to get married by Winterfest, or else she wouldn't get the inheritance money from her great-great-great-grandcousin once removed. There was just one slight issue. Kaylee's boyfriend of 4 years had just broken up with her. They had dated all through university, and the second he graduated, he ditched her, which was similar to her high school boyfriend, Bob Cherry, who had left her before he left college. And it seems like nobody in the town knew where Bob was either. He had seemingly just disappeared off the face of the earth. Because Kaylee had been so sad, she decided to invite over a couple of her friends from high school. There was Thomas and Rami Watson, who had been together forever, and Cecilia King, who had only been in Henford-on-Bagley since she was a teenager, but they still got along swimmingly. Kaylee sliced up the fruitcake, and the group caught up about all the things that had happened since high school. Although it didn't take long for Rami to suggest that the three of the girls go out tonight, because it was guys' night at the local pub, the Gnome's Head. Because the guys got half-off drinks, there should be plenty of them for Kaylee to choose from. Kaylee rolled her eyes at Cecilia, who was also single, but Cecilia said, "Don't worry about me, I'm on the dating apps," whipping out her phone to show Kaylee all the pictures. After Kaylee's friends had gone home, Marie suggested that she should go out with them instead of staying home and wallowing in self-pity all night. They gave each other a hug, and Kaylee went upstairs to change into a party outfit. Kaylee donned her favorite Santa baby outfit. She checked herself out in the mirror and completely ignored the weather forecast before heading off to the bar. Kaylee ordered a round of apple nectar for her, Cecilia, and Rami. They had just heard about apple nectar just a few months ago. Apparently, it's this huge craze that started in Chestnut Ridge. Kaylee had just never tried it before. But Kaylee, Rami, and Cecilia seemed to like it, so that's really all that mattered. Rami's husband, Thomas, decided to bring some of the single guys from his work to meet Kaylee just to see if she liked any of them. Cecilia said it would be fun, and Kaylee said, "Well, why not? I don't have anything to lose." While they waited, they chatted with the owners, Simon and Sarah Scott, about the bar and how busy it had been lately. The longer the girls were there, the more patrons started to show up at the bar. They didn't have to wait long for Thomas and his work buddies to show up. He came with Ian Robles and Cameron Fletcher. Kaylee talked with them for a while, but didn't really seem to hit it off with either of them. Then she met Douglas Hightower, and Jackson Eubanks, and Ronan Zeong, and Jace Contreras, and Kyle Oliveira, and Kaylee didn't have good compatibility with any of them until she saw Bob Cherry in the crowd. He told Kaylee that he was a child of the islands and had gone to Sulani for an extended vacation to learn about his culture. Kaylee and Bob had always had amazing compatibility. The two talked all night and basically closed the bar, despite how cold it was in the bar. Kaylee was so excited about reuniting with Bob that she ran home to tell her mother the story. But first, Kaylee had to make something that Bob had told her about on his adventure to Tamarang recently. Bob assured her that it was one way to get warm in the winter, because it was a spicy soup. It smelled amazing while Kaylee was making it, and she couldn't wait to try it, and it was delicious, but she might have to lay off the spice next time. Marie offered to clean up all the dishes, and Kaylee decided to head off to bed, because it was already 2 o'clock in the morning. And if Kaylee wanted to get married by Winterfest, she had a lot of work to do over the next few days. The next morning, Kaylee woke up regretting how much nectar she drank the night before. Thankfully, she had an entire bathroom to herself. She took a bath and made breakfast. Nothing fancy, just eggs and toast with some bacon. After breakfast, Kaylee and Marie watched their favorite horror movie. Yes, it's Christmas, but they love horror movies. I just couldn't find a Christmas movie. They don't exist in The Sims. Marie encouraged Kaylee to text Bob and see what he was doing for the day, and maybe go on a date. After working up the courage, Kaylee sent him a nice flirty text, and Bob actually asked her out to one of the bars in Salvadorado. Kaylee and Bob got their own table at the bar, had a few drinks, and had lunch. Did a little bit of flirting before saying goodbyes and heading home. Kaylee was on cloud 9. Nothing could ruin her day. Not even Vlad showing up at her door to ask for her hand in marriage. Thankfully, Marie turned him away pretty quickly. The next morning, Kaylee woke up early to pour herself some coffee, eat breakfast, and do her favorite plum boomba workout, all before her mother had even woken up. It was the day before Winterfest, so Marie started prepping all the ingredients and dough that she would need for tomorrow's dinner. She even made brigadeiros, which is a favorite at all of Marie's parties. And you can't forget to leave out chocolate chip cookies for Father Winter. While Kaylee was making her fruit salad for the party, Marie suggested that she invite Bob over for lunch. Kaylee agreed to invite Bob over, but only if Marie made her famous winter cake, which was like a spiced gingerbread cake, and decorated with some winter berries and a fun little pine cone. Kaylee finished wrapping all of her presents and added them under the tree, before starting on some paintings that she needed to do for work. Marie had spotted Bob outside the window and told Kaylee that he was on his way and she should make her way downstairs to greet him.
Canad Fanusa.
Bob was kind of happy that Kaylee didn't see him do that. Kaylee opened the door and welcomed Bob inside, stating that her mom couldn't be happier to meet him. And Bob followed Kaylee into the dining room. Kaylee poured some juice for everybody, and Marie set out dinner. Marie really liked Bob, and they got along surprisingly well, and they became jokesters almost immediately. After they were all finished eating, Marie decided to go and grab the cake. Marie suggested that Kaylee and Bob stay inside and watch a movie, while Marie goes out and does some stuff in the yard. Kaylee yelled at Marie for being so forward, but she thought it was a great idea to stay inside and watch a movie. Kaylee let Bob choose the movie, and he picked Sims of the Dead. But Kaylee and Bob barely even watched the movie. They spent most of the time talking and catching up on the last few years. Eventually they started talking about their feelings for each other, which then led them to talk about marriage. And I'm very upset because I didn't actually get their proposal because I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. Bob eventually proposed, and they settled their engagement with a kiss under the mistletoe. Bob immediately moved in, and the couple went to bed, preparing for a dinner and a wedding tomorrow on Winterfest. Bob was the first person to wake up the next morning, and he decided he needed to give himself a pep talk for the big day. Marie was the next person to wake up. She made some coffee and got to work decorating the house for the wedding. Checked a couple things off their Winterfest itinerary, and then the three of them went to open presents. Unfortunately, Marie didn't know what to get Bob, so she got him a carrot. Bob didn't really like it. Marie gave Kaylee a grill, since she would probably need it for their new house once they moved out. Bob and Kaylee got Marie a lump of clay to mold. The dinner guests would be arriving in a little while, so Marie went to the kitchen and started baking all the food. There wasn't going to be a whole lot of people at this party, but there was enough food to feed a small army. Marie also gave the dining room a complete makeover, and also set up a small buffet with a drink fountain. The wedding cake that Kaylee ordered had finally arrived, and it was perfect. A hexagon gold and white tiered cake with gold hearts on top of it. Marie was finishing up the grand dinner and wanted to have one final chat with Kaylee before she got married. She wanted to make sure that Bob was the right decision, and Kaylee said yes, I've always wanted to be with him. Marie said, as long as you're happy, then I'm happy too. Kaylee then went to get into her wedding dress, a beautiful red dress with a white jacket. All of Kaylee and Bob's friends had finally arrived, so Kaylee called them to dinner in the dining room. Halfway through dinner, Kaylee and Bob announced that they were going to be getting married in the backyard in a few minutes. Although her friends stayed inside, they did get married and it went off without a hitch, because I didn't use the My Wedding Stories wedding. I was not emotionally prepared for that kind of disaster. Then they cut their cake and tried it together. They didn't smash it in each other's faces. Don't do that. Marie paid the caterer and thanked all the guests for coming, and sent them all on their way. Later that evening, Father Winter arrived and put some more presents under the tree. This is what Marie had been waiting for all day. Father Winter was her best friend and old love, and also maybe Kaylee's father, but don't tell Kaylee's father that. Father Winter gave Marie some knitting supplies, which she was grateful for. Father Winter gave Kaylee a word processor, which was maybe a little outdated, but she still was grateful for it. Then it was Bob's turn to receive his gift, and Father Winter gave him a lump of coal. Bob didn't really understand why he got a lump of coal. It's not like he was up to anything. He didn't do anything wrong. He pretended like he liked it. It was time for Father Winter to go, so Marie gave him one final kiss under the mistletoe, and he headed out the chimney, leaving nothing behind but a puff of smoke. And as for our couple, well, we'll give them some privacy. This had been such a great holiday, and it got even better when Kaylee announced her pregnancy. Kaylee and Bob were the happiest couple on earth right now. And Bob suggested that we go tell Marie. It made her entire day. A little new boo on the way. Bob couldn't be happier, and he gave himself a pat on the back for a successful mission. A successful mission because he wasn't actually Bob Cherry. He was Pollination Tech number 7. They had replaced the real Bob Cherry years ago, but that's a story for another day. I hope you all have an amazing holiday. You can find Kaylee, Bob, and Marie on my gallery at Darth_Jeswick, just like it's spelled here on YouTube, and I will see you all in the next video. Dag dag!